Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. Purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charge against you. I'll determine if probable cause exists for that charge. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the state attorney's office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon. That is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've got a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know your next court date will be, and if you'd like to have the services of the Public Defender's Office, I'll gladly appoint them to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. And I'll solemnly swear affirm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please step forward to the podium. Crystal Kamers. Afternoon, young lady. What's your date of birth?
6/20/86.
Crystal, the charge is retail theft. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. Do you plan on hiring private counsel? Would you like me to appoint an attorney from the Public Defender's Office?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State what can you tell me?
2017, a DUI. 2014, driving on a suspended license. 2012, a violation of probation. There was a principal to a strong-arm robbery in 2011. 2007 and 2006, there were failures to appear and a violation of probation in 2006.
Crystal, have you been staying with anyone in particular lately or living outdoors? What's going on?
My mom.
Okay, what's your mom's address?
5714 West Thomas Court, Homosassa, Florida.
Okay. Do you have a job? Do you have a job these days?
No.
Okay. How long has it been since you?
With my stepdad part-time.
What do you do?
Long hair.
Okay. I'll set your bond at $500, Crystal. I'm going to have you back in court on February 19th. It's very important that when you get out, you contact the Public Defender's Office right away, okay?
All right.
Thank
you.
Mark Groves. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/20/83, sir.
Mark, the charge is battery being, domestic in nature. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Oh, public defender, I guess.
Appoint the PD. State what can you tell me?
Judge, it looks like there might be a pending charge here for a possession of controlled substance, disorderly intoxication, and resisting officer without violence. I don't have a case number on that.
In Hernando?
That's what it says on it says it came in January 25th.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if that was over the weekend and then he was released on that and then picked us up on the 26th.
Yeah, the defense date is the same. That may be that came after this, but on the same day. So we wouldn't have it in the system yet.
Right, and that's why I don't have a case number.
Okay, any other history?
2002, violation of probation, petty theft. Another petty theft, grand theft, petty theft, burglary of a conveyance, burglary of a conveyance, burglary of a conveyance. 4 of those. Those were from 2001.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Okay. And Mark, I had an address for you on Tensaw Drive in Hudson. Is that where you were living?
Yes, sir.
How long had you been there?
2 years.
And Miss Ludwig was living there as well?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
I did, probably not now, but.
What were
I
you
was
doing?
working, sir. I was cooking
Where were you doing that?
at Waffle House.
Okay. All right, Mark, I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. Condition of the bond is that while this charge is pending, you'll have no contact with Miss Ludwig. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. You don't contact her through any social media. Don't go where she lives. Don't go where she works. You don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She might go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you at the jail today up until 4 p.m., so if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. As far as that address on Tensaw is concerned, as long as she stays there, you're going to have to stay someplace else. You can go by one time to collect your things. In order to do that, it looks like you have to contact the Pasco County Sheriff's Office. They'd meet you there with a deputy who'd stand by while you collect your things and get going wherever you're going. I'm going to have you back in court on February 19th. Very important when you get out that you contact the Public Defender's Office here in Hernando County right away, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Frederick Harris. Morning, Frederick. What's your date of birth?
5/26/91.
All right, Frederick, what I have for you is a warrant out of the state of Illinois. Your options today are that because we have this out-of-state warrant, you're entitled to have an extradition hearing if you wish. An extradition hearing, the purpose of that would be to determine if you're the right Frederick Harris and if the state of Illinois has a valid warrant for you. While you're waiting for that hearing to happen, you'd have to stay here in the jail in Hernando County. That process can take up to 60 days. If we then had that hearing and determined that you are the right guy and Illinois does have a warrant, from that point, Illinois would have an additional 15 days to come and get you. If you wish, you may waive your right to that extradition hearing. If you waive the right to the extradition hearing, the state of Illinois will be notified immediately and told that they have 15 days to come and get you. If you're still here in 15 days, in that instance, they would bring you back to see me. I would find out if there had been any contact with Illinois, whether they need another day or whether we can release you or whatever the situation is at that time. So the question I need you to answer for me is...
I want to waive it.
There you go. Sign that form. They're going to give you a sign, Frederick. You sign that. We're going to notify Illinois immediately. They've got 15 days to come and get you. If you're still here in 15 days, they'll bring you back to see me, all right?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Joshua Merrill.
just speak, he can hear you.
Joshua, what's your date of birth?
November 30, 79.
Joshua's got 3 charges today: driving under the influence, driving on a suspended license, and refusal to submit to a test of your breath, blood, or urine. There's probable cause for those 3 charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
1 second, Your Honor.
Okay.
My mistake, Your Honor. We thought we had the wrong inmate.
No, he gave me the right date anyway.
PD's office, please.
All right, state.
Judge, it looks like back in August he had a DUI and a leaving the scene of an accident out of Levy County. 2011 he had a battery. 2010 driving on a suspended license. 2010 a violation of probation. 2010 DUI. 2010 improper exhibition of a firearm. 2009 he had several bad checks. 2009 violation of probation, 2006 felony habitual driving on a suspended, 2003 driving on a suspended, 2003 obstruction, violation of probation on a battery.
That's good. Josh, got an address for you on Wooden Drive in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
About 3 years.
You have a job these days?
Not right now.
How long has it been since you worked?
About a week and a half, maybe.
Okay. And then, are you currently on probation out of Levy County?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to leave your bond at $1,000 on each of the 3 counts. That's a total of $3,000. You'll be back in court on the 19th of February. And we'll remind you that you do have a duty to report to whoever is supervising you in Levy County that you picked up these charges. If you bond out, you should contact the public defender right away, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. And Joshua Spanstra. Want to
Good
start with,
evening, Your Honor.
morning, what's your date of birth?
6/27/86.
Joshua, have 2 charges today, driving under the influence and refusal to submit. There's probable cause for those 2 charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire a private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
PD will be fine, Your Honor.
Appoint the PD, State.
Judge, in 2018, he had an obstruction. In 2008, the failure to appear on a misdemeanor offense. 2004, a grand theft and a burglary. It looks like an armed burglary of a dwelling or structure or conveyance.
Okay. Josh, I have an address for you on Pinehurst in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That is correct, Your Honor.
How long have you been there?
About 2 years.
Do you have a job these days?
I was a boilermaker, but that's probably going to end now.
Okay. Set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. I'll have you back on February 19th. Very important that you contact the PD if you get out, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jill, that's all I got.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.